What is up, everybody? I'm really excited with this new update and to share my first build that I came up with. I've only had one day to farm for gear, so there's a lot of improvements that can still be made to this build. I still haven't even re-rolled certain things. I'm going to go over all the stats, all the gear, and the theory crafting on what you should do to make it better. So first off, this is a rifle build. I know, rifles. They used to suck really bad for the most part, but I've got multiple choices for rifles. Right now, I'm using the classic M1A. It's got 125,000 damage on it, which is insane. The other gun that I like to use is the Urban MDR. It does half the damage, less than half the damage. It's got a higher rate of fire, but after using both, Urban MDR, keep in mind, has 30% higher headshot damage than all the other rifles still for some reason, and it got buffed. But this classic M1A is one-shotting yellows. It's unbelievable how good this is. Let me just show you, for instance. This is on very hard here. Let me just... As you can see... Oh, I missed. It's out of control. It's almost hitting for 1,000,000 damage. And if I just re-rolled my chest or optimized a little bit more, it would be critting for 1,000,000 damage. It's crazy. This is crazy. I have a feeling in PvP, the build is also going to be really strong. And we'll be able to, one or two shot players in the heads with a rifle. And that's pretty awesome. So, I'm using the Sharpshooter spec, obviously. M1A with the Nemesis. Nemesis got nerfed a bit for its talent preparation. While holstered, you gain 15% headshot damage when scoped in with your current weapon. It used to be 25. Keep in mind, this scope works. This counts as being scoped in. They did not fix that. It still counts, even when you're not scoped in with it. So this will give me 5% damage to elites and 15 headshot. I've chosen to put the crit chance laser pointer on the gun and plus 5 rounds in the magazine. So we get a 15-round mag, and it just does so much damage. It's crazy. You can also run, let me just show you the Urban MDR. It's another great option, but it takes 2 shots to kill everything. And even though its rate of fire is faster, it's just not quite as effective, I feel, as that M1A. The M1A is just crazy. It's nuts how fast you're able to kill enemies with a single headshot. All right, so other stuff. There's new things, if you guys didn't know. Every brand now has a slot for everything. So Araldi's has a mask. I got really lucky. I found this Araldi's mask with 55% damage to elites, and I rolled it to this new talent called Concussion. Headshots grant 15% headshot damage for 2 seconds. 5 seconds with marksman rifles. It refreshes. So after I hit a headshot, you'll see the buff in the bottom there. It only lasts for 2 seconds, but any follow-up headshots are going to be buffed. It's pretty nice because all of those are getting that benefit. The other thing, let me show you on the gun. This is actually really important. They really buffed Rifleman. Landing headshots adds a stack of bonus 10% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Max stacks is 5, and additional headshots refresh the duration. This is insane. This means that you have 5 seconds to get a headshot, and as long as you've gotten 5 headshots within, the last time you got one, you have 50% bonus weapon damage. Not headshot damage, like weapon damage. You used to lose stacks if you hit body shots or miss shots, and you don't do that anymore. It requires 4 or less. Yes, you guys might be thinking, you don't have any blues. How do you stay alive? I've tested this out. Control point 4s, challenge missions, solo, super easy. In a group, even easier. It's crazy. I'll get to how I survive once I get to my knee pads. But I think Rifleman is by far the best talent for rifles now. And I'm actually running optimized so that I have better accuracy and stability and stuff. Optimized is pretty awesome. All the rifles got buffed except for the SIG, so you can use anything. The Mark 17's great, the MDR is great, everything's pretty awesome. But if it was up to me, it's either the M1A or the MDR because of that bonus headshot damage. And you can spam the MDR. So mask, obviously Araldi's, like I said, you get accuracy for the 1-piece or 2-piece and headshot damage for the 3-piece. I highly recommend 2 pieces of Araldi's on this build. And I recommend concussion, since you cannot stack damage to elites anymore. If you guys didn't know that, damage to elites will only apply 1 time. So hard hitting is a unique talent. You can only have 1 on your gear now. It did get increased to 25%, which brings us to the backpack. Second piece of Araldi's. What I would prefer on this backpack is hard hitting and spike. Spike is a new backpack talent. Here it is, right? Or spark, sorry, not spike, spark. Damaging enemies with a skill or explosives grants 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So if I was using a spark backpack, I would be using a flame turret. And I would also change my glove talent. I'll get to that when we get to gloves. But this backpack is great. It's got 9% weapon damage on it. I could give it more. It's got 12.5 crit chance on it. And it's got hard hitting and a red mod slot. So to replace this backpack is going to be pretty hard. I'd have to have a really badass spark backpack to make up for it. So for the time being, it's literally just being used for its damage. Chest piece. This thing's insane. This new talent, Vigilance. You gain 25% weapon damage. If you take damage, it disables this buff for 4 seconds. So as long as you aren't taking damage, you have 25% increased damage. Now, this is great for sniper builds and rifle builds. I wouldn't use this on an assault rifle build. I would still use, like, Berserk myself. But this is awesome. I got really lucky on this TAC light plate carrier. I haven't re-rolled it. It's got headshot damage, weapon damage, crit chance. I can roll this weapon damage well over 15%. But 15% is the highest that I have. So that right there would add, there's +8 right there. Could roll the headshot damage to 24. The crit chance is capping out at 19. So I have a lot of options of what I could roll with this. Plus it has 2 red mod slots. It's great. There is a new Araldi's chest, and it's a named chest. It rolls with perfect vigilance, which gives you 30%. And that is also an option. You could use that Araldi's chest, which would then free up either your mask or backpack slot. More likely your backpack slots, then you have more room to work with getting a spark backpack. So in the future, I may be using an Araldi's chest here, and Araldi's mask, combined with the, whatever backpack I can get that has the talents and attributes that I want. But that's what I'm using now, and it's great. Gloves. I'm running Alps gloves. They have rifle damage and a red mod slot. That's really good. So I'm getting, 10 rifle damage here and 6.5 from the mods. So that's 16.5 rifle damage on this. The gloves, the talent here. This could be all sorts of different things. Right now, I rolled it to surgical because I have, 56 crit chance with this build. At the end, I'll go through my stats. But I have 56 crit chance with this build right now. And surgicals help me get that. It's not needed. You could replace this with, weapon damage. Even though they re-nerfed it, it's back down to only 5%. You could do crit... I think you can get crit damage here. Maybe not. I don't remember. Actually, I don't think you can. But, yeah, maybe you can. Right now I have surgical, but in the future, I'm going to probably run Wicked. When I get that Spark backpack, I'm going to run Wicked with a flame turret. So when I flame turret things, my Spark gives me 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds, plus whenever you flame something or a status effect anything, I gain 15% weapon damage for 20 seconds. So that's going to be plus 30 right there. And that's a pretty awesome option. So keep your eye out. You could do it with Alps. You could do it with Araldi's. You could do it with pretty much anything. Araldi's problem is it doesn't have a red mod slot, so that's why I like Alps for that red mod slot. That's a bunch of extra damage there. So look out for some Alps gloves that have, you know, the damage that you want, which would be rifle on here, with a primary attribute, the circle with the triangle in it. And you can put Wicked on there. Or run Surgical, or you could run Damage to Elites here if you don't have it on your backpack. You could run Headshot damage here if you don't have it elsewhere. So it's not like you don't have to have Headshot here, Damage to Elites here, Surgical here. You just can mix and match that. Holster. I'm running my Wyvern holster. It's adding 7% crit damage for, you know, just the one piece here. 16 crit chance with precise and a red mod slot. It's hard to beat this holster. I could also run an Araldi's holster. I do have similar Araldi's holsters, not in my inventory, but Araldi's does run a red mod, and it can also roll the talent and a red attribute. So Araldi's is another option here that you could use to supplement that 2-piece Araldi's. You could even go 3-piece Araldi's if you're ever using your sniper rifle. That wouldn't be a bad idea. However, the 7 crit damage is a nice little bonus benefit. And again, the talent could be damage to elites, it could be headshot, it could be crit chance, it could be crit damage, it could be weapon damage. It all depends on where you got the other stats. So don't try to copy this build to a T. Now, yesterday, I was looking for Overlord knee pads with Entrenched. I know there is a new talent. Here's the thing. Here's the new talent. It's also really good. Composure. While in cover, you get 10% weapon damage. That's amazing. But this build is not lacking damage right now. What it's lacking is survivability. And in an assault rifle build, I think I'm going to run Composure all the time. Like, that's a no-brainer. But check these bad boys out. Fox's Prayer. This is a new named item that will always come with Perfectly Entrenched. This buffs it to 15% of your armor is recovered after every headshot. There is no cooldown on this. Every single headshot you do will give you 15% of your armor, which means 7 headshots fills your armor completely from dead. I mean, it does scale with more armor. Like if I had 400,000 armor, I'd be getting, I think my math is right, 50,000. Because 10% would be 40. 60,000. I'd be getting 60,000 armor, I think. I have shitty math, but I think I'd be getting 60,000 armor for every headshot if I had 400,000 armor. I think in PvP, this could be a great combination with a high armor build. And, you know, but this is not a PvP build necessarily. I think I'd flop over pretty quick in PvP with this amount of armor and health. But in the content that I've experienced, control point level 4s, challenging missions, I've had no issue with survivability. The only thing that will flop me over real quick is fire damage. If someone throws a fire grenade or one of those sneaky little suicide bombers blows up next to me, the fire just drops me instantly, and then I'm bleeding on the ground for less than a second, and the fire drops me there. So that is the weakness to this build right now, fire damage. But for the most part, I'm in cover, and I'm able to, you know, get headshots fast enough that my survivability is not tanked from this. And these knee pads are awesome. I can roll this crit chance to 9, so I could gain 2% more here. They come with a red mod slot, and they're just overall really awesome. That 5% makes a big difference. That's a great bonus. Sidearm doesn't really matter. I think I have protected reload right now. If I was running skills like I will eventually, I would definitely want to be running in rhythm. That's a really good talent to have in rhythm. There's also like, I don't know, there's other options you could run, but personally, it's going to be in rhythm for me. I don't even need protected reload, but hey, it's whatever. Might as well just put in rhythm on now. There we go, done. All right, skills. I never actually really use my skills with this build currently, unless I'm about to die, which doesn't really happen very often. I just have a chem launcher. It probably doesn't even have mods that work currently. I haven't really worried about the skills. Yeah, it's just a broken ass chem launcher right now. I got to do a lot of work to the skills to maximize it. But what I'll likely be running is a chem launcher for emergency heals and a flame turret. Flame turret is going to pair up once I get that spark talent on my chest, or backpack, I mean, and switch to Wicked for the gloves. Flame turret will be great for that. And then whatever talent you want. You could run a Reviver Hive. So rather than a heal, you could have that Reviver Hive for your second life. That's a good option. You could run whatever. If you don't want to run Wicked, you could also run a regular turret, a bullet shooting turret, and that will proc your spark as well, because all you have to do is damage with skills. So regular turret, a drone that shoots bullets, whatever it is. Once you get that spark backpack, you want some sort of talent that does damage. The other option would be to drop the Nemesis, and you can run the, what's it called? Merciless. And its explosion from its holstered talent, 5% chance to do 100% damage. It's actually really strong. It scales like twice off of your damage to elites, so it's way more than the damage that you're normally hitting for. But with this slower rate of fire, I don't think it's really worth it. But we will show you here. When it does pop, it hits really hard. It blew up there, but the thing was already dead. That's the problem here, is that everything's just dying instantly. That I don't ever get to see that explosion deal its damage. But since I'm already hitting for 900, it probably hits for like 1.5 million. I'm not even kidding. It scales crazy. It's like you're taking benefit from the damage to elites from the original hit, and then it procs again off of that and all the other modifiers, which is just really, really awesome. So happy with that. But for, in general use, Nemesis. And then that way, if there's something that's really hard to kill, you can use your Nemesis to kill them if they're really far away or have a ton of health. Pretty awesome. Now, stat page. This has been changed. You can see all sorts of different stuff. You can see all of your talents that you have. You can see now your weapon damage. Like, there's actually a way to see your base weapon damage. I can show you that in a second if I can remember. 54.5 crit chance. I can add 2 on my knee pads easily. That'll put me up to 56.5. And then that's pretty good. Even if I drop the gloves, that'll be at 46.5 after I upgrade my knee pads. And that is awesome. If I wasn't wearing a Araldi's mask, I could wear like a Wyvern mask with crit chance and damage to elites. That could also work and get my crit chance to 60. But it's not as important to cap that. But I definitely think it's worth having it as high as possible. 47 crit damage, got 122 headshot damage, and it's awesome. I really, really like this build. 85 to elites, 62 rifle, all weapon is 24. I think that's mostly the important stuff there. Oh, since I remembered here, if you go to your guns and then click options, you can click show base damage. This will actually show you the base damage of your gun without talents or buffs. So my base damage of this gun is 67,043. I don't know what the best... Now you can cross-reference this with spreadsheets to see how close your gun is to, max rolled. It even works with Unhinged, which was one of the most confusing ones. So you can see here, I don't have any LMG damage. My Unhinged is 25,000. Without it, it's 16,945 minus the all weapon damage that I have and the talent, which is Unhinged. This is a great thing, and it's hidden. It wasn't really talked about, so a lot of people probably don't even know that you can view the base damage of your guns now. If you want to see this in use, I've already taken up a lot of time on this video. I don't really want to show any gameplay to it. I could do that at a different time, or you could watch it live, but trust me, it works amazing. As you can see, it dumps all of those in one shot, and I think I can get around 6 million DPS on targets. There's a new thing in the target range too. You shoot those and it will always be at that range now, which is really cool. I like that a lot. That's pretty awesome. Let's get a couple of buffs up real quick to artificially pad them stats. Here we go. It two-shots these guys. Oh, I scuffed that one. What? Scuffed. Redo. Scuffed. Super scuffed. Redo. Video is ruined. Video is ruined. But I think this will go up to about 6 million. Assuming that you don't somehow have vanishing bullets like I'm getting, which is really weird. Like, I don't know where those bullets are deciding to go. But, yeah. It's 5 now. I don't understand why I'm getting disappearing bullets, but it's happening. It is happening, guys. We're having bullets just completely non-register and disappear here. Like, there was another one. Very, very weird, but hey. They fixed everything, guys. But yeah, the damage is out of control. I'm going to call it 20 million DPS for the Willis. No, just kidding. But there's also new things. You can damage yourself if you want to test out Berserk in the shooting range. You can now damage yourself, which is a good way to show how fast this will actually let me heal. Let me show you here. Let's go to this one over here. So I'm at no armor right now. I have none, and yeah, obviously I'm full now. That's pretty cool, right? Let's damage it again. And this will fill at this speed no matter what armor you have, because it's percentage based. 7 shots, full armor. It's crazy. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be putting out other builds. Next up is an assault rifle build that doesn't use the Eagle Bearer. I'm going to be using the FAMAS, which has been one of my favorite guns in this game. I used to use it in PvP, but it only had 30 rounds. Now, it's got a magazine slot. So things have changed for the FAMAS, and I love it. So I'm going to be running a assault rifle build video that doesn't use Eagle Bearer. I know a lot of people hate build videos that are centralized around Eagle Bearer because the majority of people in this game don't actually have it. I know the majority of people I associate with have it, so it's like I forget that so many people don't have it. So I'll do that one for you guys, so look out for that. Let me know what you guys think about this build. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, tell me what you would do to change it for the better. Any crazy things you've come across. And I'm streaming live every day, Twitch TV /Inigo Montoya. Thanks for watching, guys.